Welcome all from me to you. This is Amanda in the flesh, and this is week 2 of my web updates. Now, last week I talked about how I got started as a ghost hunter and the experiences I had as a kid. You also read a short excerpt from my book, My Paranormal Life, which is available for sale, by the way. Then we asked you to go to the forums page up top and send us your stories of experiences with the paranormal. So now that you know a bit about me and we know a bit about you, we're going to go into what it is that I actually do. A lot of people ask, what is ghost hunting? And not many people understand what the hunt is all about. Now, me being a southern girl, born and raised, I like to compare ghost hunting to, deer hunting, traditional deer hunting. So, when you are going hunting for a deer, you have to prepare ahead of time, right? First, you have to research to find out where there might be a deer. I mean, you aren't going to just go out to a random field and hope you shoot something. You are going to ask your buddies or your co-workers where they hunt. You might even read the newspaper articles or go online to see where someone shot a 12-pointer recently. Once you know where you're going, you have to wear certain kinds of clothing. You might wear a camouflage so the deer don't see you. You might wear some boots in case it's muddy. You might wear an orange hat so hopefully your buddies won't accidentally shoot you. Then, of course, you're going to have your checklist of things that you are going to need to bring along, like water, snacks. Of course, you need your gun, ammo, maybe bug spray. You need to know that you're going to have everything you need for this hunting trip. Then, of course, you have to understand hunting laws. How many deer can you shoot? What point do they have to be? And of course, is it legal to hunt on this land? Are there no trespassing signs? Did you get permission from the owner to hunt there? If you didn't, you can end up in a lot of trouble. Any hunter will tell you that. Also, you need to know what kind of terrain you're going to be dealing with. Is it hilly, flat? Are you in the woods? Are you in a field? Is it muddy? Is it raining? Is it cold? You need to know these things so you can compare and adjust to the conditions, like wearing jackets, or again boots, or if you need to wear camouflage for woods or camouflage for a field, like a wheat field. Then, of course, you're going to need to know what you're going to be hunting. Now, if you're looking for a deer and you bring only buckshot, and let's say you see a little rabbit hop by and you think that you might want to shoot it. Well, if all you have is buckshot, if you shoot the thing, it'll just, not be good to eat. Then, of course, you have the evidence of your hunt. You bring back a deer carcass to show your buddies and how successful your trip was and to prove that it was a good hunting ground. Well, ghost hunting is the exact same thing. First, you have to prepare ahead of time. You have to research the land and find out where there will most likely be a ghost. You can read stories, you can have word of mouth, you can interview people, talk to local historians. You find reports of hauntings, and that's how you choose the location you are going to go to. Then you have to make sure that you wear a certain kind of clothing, like long pants, so you don't get all scratched up if you're going to be out in the woods. You wear sneakers instead of like flip-flops or sandals. That cause a lot of noise and can possibly get you injured You have to wear a coat if it's cold. Then, like hunting, you have to have a checklist of supplies you're going to need. You need your cameras, you need your tables, you need your voice recorders, you need water, you need your first aid kits. You need to know that you have all of the supplies that are necessary for this particular investigation, so you don't end up showing up and not having something that you need. Of course, you need to understand hunting laws, like trespassing laws is one of the biggest things. Do you have permission to investigate here? Are there no trespassing signs? The biggest mistake investigators make is to trespass on someone's property. It gives you a bad name, and it gives us a bad name. It can also lead to you being arrested and paying a hefty fine, which no one wants to do when they're in this field, because you don't exactly make money at this. One of the biggest assets you can have is to be on good terms with the local sheriff's departments and the local police departments, because they can be your biggest friends, they can be your worst enemies sometimes. Then, of course, you have to know what kind of terrain you're going to be dealing with. Is the house old and falling apart? Are there soft spots in the floor? Is the ceiling caving in? Knowing these things can help save your life, because if you go into a house that is just uninhabitable and you go in there and you fall through 2 stories of flooring, you're going to get hurt. And especially if you go alone, which I do not recommend. So you should always take a buddy with you hunting. But if you do happen to go alone and you end up falling through the floor, it'd be nice to know ahead of time not to step there. Then, like with hunting, you have to know what you're going to be up against, and what kind of spirit it is. Now, you may not always know before you investigate, but that's why research is so important in this field. And last but not least, you have the evidence of the hunt, which in our case is photos, audio recordings, or videos of paranormal activity that you show people. Unfortunately, we cannot bring home a spirit, so not many people would believe the evidence you show them. However, just having the evidence there means so much more than you can possibly imagine. I've spent my entire life collecting evidence to prove that spirits exist in our world. And the more evidence I capture, the less likely people will say that spirits don't exist. Or do exist. So evidence is a big part of who we are and why we do this. To prove to the world that we're not crazy, that what we do is not a waste of time. We do what we do because we love it and because it makes us who we are. Now, I hope you understand a little bit better about what ghost hunting is. So that's all for this week. I won't bore you anymore. I try to keep it under 10 minutes. And it looks like I'm going to hit that. But please go to our contact me button right there and send us your questions for our Q&A page. Also, I have some homework for you this week. Like I did last week, I want you to go to our form page up top and tell us what you compare ghost hunting to. Kind of do a little bit of what I did, comparing it to deer hunting, if you can think of an analogy for ghost hunting that would help others understand it a bit better, please share it with us. Well, thank you all for listening, and look out for our next update. It may possibly be another video or a PowerPoint. I haven't decided which, but you'll find out. So, peace out and have a good week.